true to the fam. In the booth, you can't do what I can. Yeah, I live in the studio, man. In the summer or the winter, got the studio time. OMG, stay true to the fam. In the booth, you can't do what I can. Yeah, I live in the studio, man. In the summer or the...
Hello there, that's your opinion, not mine. My name is Chris. Tez is floating about over there, and we've got a very special guest. We've got Ben, aka T.R.U.T.H. How you doing, bruv? You right?
I'm good, man. Good to be here. Good to be heard. You know, we've put all this work in, this music. Yeah, it's time to explain.
That's good. No, thanks for coming down. Really appreciate it. So we're going to just start off with, you know, but like personalise it really. So, you know, growing up, your upbringing, how did it start? Because you went through a bit of a struggle, I'll take it. So if you feel comfortable talking about it.
Yeah, man, a lot's happened. I'll just try and break it down, really. So, you know what I mean? There's a lot of bad, but there was good times. You know what I mean? I don't want the bad to outweigh the good. You know what I mean? Like, there was funny times, you know what I mean? Like, I remember, like, I remember I stole this little Turtles computer thing, and I've come through the back door, and I'm like that, like behind my back, you know what I mean? Like, and my mum knew, you know what I mean, straight away, and I'm thinking I can get this Turtles little computer game upstairs and play it, you know what I'm saying? And no, she knew straight away, so yeah, that was quite funny. But yeah, no, I had a very short childhood with my mum. Like, I was just turning five, so I was just turning 6 when she took her life, and she was only 26 years old. Like, I'm 36. Like, I've outlived my mum 10 years. Like, I don't know, like, how I'm supposed to feel. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, she, you know, it didn't work out with my dad. She was in a bad relationship. You know what I mean? And you hear the scream, you know it ain't good, and you know, you see the drama, and you know, and the sun comes up, you know what I mean? And you're like, the sun's up, and you know, you stop the argument, and you hear the shouts, and then I'm going for a walk. I'm going for some breath of fresh air. I'm going for a walk around the block, you know what I mean? And then she don't come back, and then there's a couple of police officers there, and you know, and the bad boyfriend's crying at the end of the room. You know what I mean? So he died 6 months later, but the way she took her life, like, was really like no others. You know what I mean? As a kid growing up, I used to go around pretty much saying it all the time, how she did it. It wasn't really a thing. You know what I mean? But it's a big thing. It's a big thing. And what I'll say, instead of telling you how she died in this interview, because I'm all about the music, if you go onto my mixtape, which is the 4th mixtape I dropped, and there's a song on there, track number 14, and it's called Saying Goodbye. You know what I mean? It's called Saying Goodbye. And if you know, and I also dropped a song called Mother's Day on my SoundCloud. And if you type in how my name's spelled, you know, as acronym T.R.U.T.H, and you hopefully you'll find my SoundCloud as a Mother's Day. And there's also another song on my Leaving Lust LP, you know, called Rainbow. And if you go on there, you'll hear there's them 3 songs. If you really want to know more, like, listen to them 3 songs. It's there, you know what I mean? But
we'll put the links in the description below this video.
Yeah, so, you know, he's crying at the end of the room. He takes me to my dad's. My dad's at work. A couple social workers, come quick. He's in bits. He's clearly guilty. Do you know what I mean? And they've taken me. Foster care. Like, I remember the first thing was there was a computer game for, I think, the Commodore 60. It's a game called Mousetrap. It's an awesome game. We recently just completed it. So, like, that kind of helped me, you know what I mean? Helped me get through. I love computer games. I don't know, it was something about computer games. Like, I'm a master at computer games, you know what I mean? I've been getting achievements, like, not even, I don't know, 6% of gamers have even got 3.2, you know what I mean? 0 point, like, it's crazy, you know what I mean? But, you know, I love games. So, yeah, foster care, crazy. I also had a half brother. I had a half sister, older half sister. She left before I ever know anything. You know what I'm saying? Mum's side. Half brother, you know, different dad. He was in foster care with me. The foster mum couldn't handle. She's like, shut up. You know what I mean? She's laying there, you're scared. I ain't seen no actual physical abuse. Point is, dad didn't want to take mum's bad boyfriend's kid. He got adopted. We was kept in contact. I got a few letters and photos. Then they disappeared. They moved. The letters stopped coming, the photos stopped coming. I never actually went to the social services to approach it. Would you, you know, I remember him as a little kid trying to tell him the truth as a kid. Your mum's did. He didn't even understand me. So what do I do? There's photos of him, you know, at Disney and it's, you know, at the space station, and he's got a dog and things like this. You know, dad didn't want to take. He looks good. You know, he looks like he's in a good place. Hopefully, he's in a good place. You know what I mean? Your mind plays tricks. You know, growing up, doing whatever, but I've always been able to go to social services and try and find out, but I never have. Would you say your real mum took her life and your dad basically drove her to that and he's dead? Do you know what I mean? From meningitis, apparently. Do you know what I mean? So what do I do? Sit there and talk about life? You know what I mean? I think he's at a good place now.
You've had a pretty tough start.
Yeah.
You know. So getting into
really, yeah.
Getting into T.R.U.T.H, like with T.R.U.T.H, you did mention it briefly. Where did that come about? What is the acronym? Tell us a little bit about that and how that come about. T.R.U.T.H.
Okay, T.R.U.T.H. I noticed I was like the most honest person that do you know what I mean? Around, like in his music and just in his circles, and a lot of people want to live in the shadows. They want to live in this other realm, man. This dark realm. You know what I mean? To get what they can out of you. So it's about truth, because everything in the dark comes to light. So there's so much lies. So I was just like, I've been touched by like Tupac, and he's always telling the truth, and he tells it, he says it. So I'm gonna be like, that inspires me, and I've got a story, and you know, people have tried to kill me, so it's like like, let's express it. You know what I'm saying? It's something. So yeah, truth, and then how the acronym come about: trust, revolution, unity, true harmony. It was actually trust, revolution, unity, through harmony, but then I figured out true harmony sounds better. So trust, revolution, unity, true harmony. That came about. My friend Job, he's got T.R.U. tattooed on him, and he told me that that's what it stands for. And then I added the other two letters, and then yeah, that stuck. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's how truth came about, man. So it's about revolution, you know, like the whole thing, what it stands for, you know, trust has to do with speaking the truth. Without trust, there's no love, you know, it's going to fall apart. Without revolution, there's no positive change. You're going to be stuck in some effed up realm. Without unity, there's going to be no love. Again, it's, you know, without true harmony, without actual peace, love and understanding towards each other, one another, then there ain't going to be no life, you know what I mean? Because you're going to be so busy hating, you ain't gonna end up killing each other, you know what I mean?
Let's talk about music, and you sent me we've spoke off air about this, and you've got a hell of a lot of music. Like when I said, send me some music, you know, you sent, and I was like, crikey, like where do I start? It's like a labyrinth. I was like, what? I said, right, I'm going to send this to Tez, because you know, Tez can help me out here. Yeah. So stylistically, what would you say your music style and type is? Because I've listened to it, and it's you mix it up. It's not all the same.
No, do you remember when I seen in them two files, and I was like, I sort of named one file two emotions. Do you know what I mean? And then I laid another file, another two emotions. Yeah. But to break it down, you know what I mean? I've got songs about life, songs about death, songs about revolution, songs about martyrs, songs about betrayal, songs about like I've got, you know, I've tried to cover all subjects, you know what I mean? Yeah, as best I could, but you know.
With music, how do you start with the tracks? Do you start with the beats, the lyrics? What's the process?
Yeah, so I've done a few tracks, you know what I mean, where I I wrote the lyrics. But I love really to hear the beat, because I'll like take notes, and then I hear a beat, and then I want to start writing to that. Do you know what I mean? Because I get that vibe from that beat. You know what I mean? I'm really fussy with beats now, because there's been a lot of development.
What have you found has been the hardest battle for you to try and establish yourself? You know, because obviously you haven't found it easy to move forward and push forward with the music. So what do you find your biggest hurdle and blockage, if you like, moving forward, if you have any?
Yeah, in kind words, people that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? You put yourself in these positions and they're not playing their part. You know what I mean? But I am. You know what I'm saying? So if it's not working, you have to find what works. You know what I mean? I wasted a lot of time being around really good rappers. Do you know what I mean? But as human beings, they weren't what I expected, because them songs touch you. You know what I'm saying? So you think if you hang up, like, so there's a lot of legwork, there's a lot of running around. So you've really got to find decent people to work with that think alike. Do you know what I mean? That want what you want to be in it for the long run. You know what I mean? And not just like play you for a fool. But so what I did, I just went mad on the beats. Do you know what I mean? I was just like, right, these collaborations ain't working. I'm getting in the studio. It's on. Do you know what I mean? And I really went in. You know what I mean? Like 448 songs to 450 songs. You know what I mean? And I come back that. You know what I mean? But it's 15 years work. You know what I mean? We've put over 50K in collaborations, got Cannabis and Yutmouth on a track. These are huge, like, you know, imagine you're listening to rappers and then you get them on your songs. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're happy to pay them. You know what I mean? And you're just happy to get an email back from them. You know what I mean? People you grew up with, you can't even get that. You know what I'm saying? They're allowed to do business right. You know what I mean? So
it can be very precarious, this rap game. I've worked with, I've dealt with a lot of local artists around Kent. So, you know, I know, I'll try and keep it real with everyone. I don't get involved with anyone's business. It's not my business. But, you know, I've heard a lot that, especially in this industry, let's just talk about the industry for a second so we can just generalise it. That's the best way forward. I've found that it can be very, there's snaky. And, you know, everyone's out for themselves. Like, there needs to be more unity. How have you? And that's why a lot of people like to work on their own.
Yeah.
How have you found that?
I love to work with people if they're on a level. Do you know what I mean? If they're objective and they're not, you know what I mean? Yeah, I love working with people, but because you got to be careful how much you give to people, like in work, in socially, in life. It's about finding the people you can work with. You know what I mean? You got to know when to end your relationship with people when it comes to the music business, because the music's love, it's always there. You know what I mean? It's infinite, but the business is always shady, it's always dodgy. Not everybody's gonna treat you how you want to be treated. Do you know what I mean? And you treat people how you want to be treated. If not more, you give more, but you don't necessarily get that back. So you have to think, you know, what's going on, and avoid the evil and avoid hate. You know, don't even let that come about, man.
Absolutely, definitely, I absolutely agree with that. Yeah. I'm just going to throw a little random question in. What is the
Coke, please? Coke. Go on.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Right, ready? Yeah. It's just okay. So I'm going to throw a random question in. What is the one thing that no one or very few people know about you?
I knew this question was going to get me. Probably like one side of my family, you know, my mother's side was like, there was kind of like upper class, you know, and that to do with me and my dad, especially after mum went. And so, you know what I mean, my dad ain't the biggest of hustlers, we could say, yeah, so he's done his best, man. It's been hard, do you know what I mean? But people probably think where my mum went, they thought, I got some big inheritance. There was like 100 quid in her boyfriend's account that he spent, you know what I mean? So, and that's the thing, like, no matter how much hardship we go through, people always want to sort of look at it like, your story ain't important. Why should you make it big in the music? Do you know what I mean? Why should you be someone? You know what I mean?
So yeah, that's interesting. Right, I've got another random question for you, Ben. If you could speak to your younger self, what would you say?
You're a fuck up.
That's fair enough. You can't argue with that, you know.
No, man. I know there's them 3 key words, isn't it? Like, don't do it.
Stop it right now.
I think, yeah, I'll go with that one.
All right. What's the dumbest thing you've ever done?
Okay. I'm with my dad. Figure out a fire at display. So he decided to get me some boxing gloves, yeah. I'm like, I don't know, it must be about 7 or something. And there's a couple of boys, they're like older boys, you know what I mean, bro? So I'm like, my dad said, ain't really going to do that to me, do you know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah. And one of them, they didn't care. He just got smack, like proper punch me. Like some grown fucking, like my dad done nothing. My dad didn't do nothing. And he went back and he goes, yeah, I told you not to, I told you so. I told you not to do things like that or something like that. And I was like, wow.
So you was a kid, you moved to a big man and then the man punched you up.
The boxing gloves.
He did give it.
I was like, yeah.
And he smashed you.
He was went,
wow.
Smash. And I was like, oh,
that's mental. He wasn't ramping like
he was him. And I remember them two. Him and his boy just like walked off like Beavis and Butthead or something. You know what I'm saying?
No remorse. Just like, I don't give a shit if you're a kid. I'm smashing you.
Exactly,
mate. That's next level.
Ruthless, isn't it?
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah. I bet they're in prison now. I bet they are.
Oh, they probably are. Yeah, they're probably on some sort of register.
I'm saying,
yeah. Anyway, if you could be a 1950s gangster, what gangster would you be?
I think it's around the time era. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's Malcolm X. You know what I mean? Because he went from a gangster to a revolutionary. You know, and trying to unite the white and black people and getting killed over for that. You know what I mean? It just like inspires me incredibly. You know what I mean? Farrakhan, yeah, we won't go too much into that, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get my house bombed next, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, look, listen, that just goes in nicely about influences, and I know, you know, Tupac is a big influence for you. So who are your influences?
Oh, God, man. So you're definitely Tupac, just the way he spoke, you know what I mean? He said it how it was, he weren't afraid to put it how it was, and he died young, so, like, it was like, there was so much more like for him to give and to change and grow and become like more, you know what I mean? Because you know, we all got our flaws, you know. But yeah, Malcolm X. I mean, the concept, like before I went to prison, I was on a real sort of higher like level. I wanted to do an album called like Mr. X, you know what I mean? And it was sort of me, you know, expressing, you know, how I felt, you know, about the slave mentality. It's not just black people, it's white people, you know what I mean? It's like everybody. And how it, it's unity, man. It's higher level, you know what I mean? You gotta, that's what I was gonna do anyway, and then I got sent down. So and then I come out and I done an album called Abducted Off the Prison. And also limited edition, and I released an EP called Still Waiting, which I recorded in prison, but I added the beats when I got out. There's a place in Elmley called
that was good. Them songs on that one, that was good. I listened to a few that were
Still Waiting. I think was the hardest one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I was touching boys that can, you know what I mean.
Powerful, must say that one was powerful.
Thank you. Yeah, so I released my first 2 albums and that EP when I got out of prison. You know what I mean? You got to hear Abducted Off to Prison and Limited Edition. I just called the album because I thought it was rare. You know what I mean? I got Cannabis on there. He's like a legend. He's so big, you know what I mean? And Yukmouth, he rolled with the Outlaws, Tupac's homeboys. He's so big, and like they're bigging me up in the song. You know what I mean? And it's like that means so much. Like these songs need so much more recognition. You know what I mean?
Definitely. That's powerful stuff, mate.
Yeah, man.
So, have you got any guilty pleasures musically? A music guilty pleasure? What's your one? Come on.
A music guilty pleasure?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means something random, completely like, say, fucking ABBA or Steps.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Have you got a guilty pleasure that you'd think like, wow, no way, that you actually like, which is completely random?
I'm trying to think of a song without exposing myself too much. Oh God.
Later.
If you said Celine Dion, then, you know, that would be a guilty pleasure, but no, joke.
Come on, expose me, like.
Celine Dion's alright, like, still, she's deep, like, don't get it twisted.
Dido.
Yeah.
Dido's
alright, isn't it? Still.
There's a few tracks I got on my playlist. Because she like done a trance one. I used to listen to trance all the time before hip hop, you know what I mean? Because I've been rapping for 15 years. But before that, it was trance, you know what I mean? We used to get on ecstasy and get messed up, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, it goes from love to paranoia, you know? It's sad, you know what I mean? You see people get really paranoid. And I remember when I never used to be no paranoid. I used to be, like, keeping everyone happy and things like that. And this is like 13 years old to, like, 16, 17, man, I was doing that. It's no good, but not even 17, 15, 16, do you know what I mean? But just here and there, do you know what I mean? But it was like, God, apparent, yeah, it's just horrible now.
So we would say, we'll narrow it down to Dido then, yeah? Dido and, who else did you say? Dido?
And
3 weeks later.
Anyway, but all right, Dido. We'll stick with Dido.
Yeah.
So if you could collaborate with anyone, who would it be? Dead or alive?
Dead or alive? That's Tupac Shakur right there, man.
Okay, let's take him out of the equation. Who else? After that, who else? Because that's too obvious.
Alive?
Anyone, yeah, alive. Let's just say alive.
Yeah, I like that. Low key, definitely, man. Low key. Yeah, abomination. You know, terrorists. I met him, man. Yeah, I went to show. Cause I was in the crowd because I was a fan you know, before I was a rapper, and it kind of all blends in. And he was doing his Alphabet Assassin, and I was like, I knew a lot of the lyrics on there, and he was like, he looked at me and he's asking the crowd to shout him back, and he was quite surprised that I knew him quite well, but I'm sure he gets a lot of that. But he was on Twitter and that, and I sent him a song. He's like, nice music, bro. And this was like my old stuff. So I was like, wow, you know, I'm buzzing. Like, yeah.
Yeah, he's on Twitter a lot, isn't he, low-key?
Is he still on there? Because I don't really go on there now. I mean, I've got an account, but...
Yeah, Twitter can be a funny place. It's a bit twisted, but, you know.
Yeah, I think if Facebook fails, man, that's where it's going to go, innit? That's where it's got to go, you know? So, yeah, but a lot of people are on that and not on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't do the whole Instagram, keep taking photos and things. I don't really like my photo being taken too many. I'm not that photogenic, really. But, you know, yeah, I'm more of an in-person, do you know what I mean? That's why you got to come to the show, you know what I mean?
So, yeah, what's next for Truth? What's next? What's next? What's the next chapter of your life, mate? What do you want to do next?
I mean, I got 8 mixtapes, 4 EPs, and 4 albums. And loads of individuals, could call them singles, on my YouTube channel. Like, I don't put on other projects, I'll spread them all out. Musically, it's more music videos, because like I said, I got all these songs, and I ain't even got 20 music videos. I got about 15 or something, if that. And everybody wants to see, you know what I mean, the videos. And so yeah, it's about putting them good videos together for everyone, giving them what they want, because the songs are there, like some really powerful songs, you know what I mean? And yeah, you've really got to push independently and not really rely on anyone, but work with people that you can grow with. Great minds think alike, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Well, coming to the end of the interview, Ben, is there anything else you want to discuss before we end? That you think is important?
Just like, I love y'all, man. Do you know what I mean? Every like little bit of support, every fan, every human being. If you got love for me, I got love for you. I ain't even playing. We put so much money into the studio. All I ask is, like, we've got 8 free mixtapes, and you got all the singles on the YouTube. EPs are only £5, and the albums are only a £10. If you could just you know, give us some of that studio time back, that'd be a great feeling. Do you know what I mean? Give me more energy and motivation to do more musically. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I know people want to see more, so I've got more to give, which is great.
And all the links will be in the description with these EPs, and please support, you know, if you can. It'll be very much appreciated, because, you know, artists work hard out there, you know, and put all their energy, effort and everything else into it. So, you know, let's support our local artists. Let's do that. If you can do that, that would be fantastic. But I really appreciate you coming down. And what we're going to do, keep your eyes peeled, because we're going to be doing a sort of mix-up album-ish review of Truth. Some of his songs, that will be out in a few weeks, so keep an eye out for that as well, so you can have a look at that. And all the links that we've discussed will be in the description below. But I really appreciate you coming down, brother.
Love Chris, man. Honestly,
quality. You've been watching Natural Opinion Not Mine with Tez and Chris and Truth. We'll be back next week. In a couple of weeks we'll have the album review, but you know, we throw in anything, so we don't know what we're doing from one week to the next. So until next time, it's a bye from me.
Peace out.
Take it easy.
Stay true to the fam. In the booth, you can't do what I can. Yeah, I live in the studio, man. In the summer or the winter, got the studio time. OMG, stay true to the fam. In the booth, you can't do what I can. Yeah, I live